Hey guys, thanks for checking out the channel. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And also, remember to hit that bell for notifications for when we drop new videos.
Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night.
Officials and newsmen at first discounted those eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
Heyo, what's up everybody? Welcome to Boogeyman Radio. Oh man, was it a weekend. It's French.
It's French, yes. It is oui, oui. It's French.
Yeah, it's a little hakatua. But
I'm an idiot. It's fine.
I'm adjusting my video over here.
It's
hey,
okay.
Want to hear something awesome?
Yeah.
We now have 10 followers on Kick.
What?
So
No,
shout
actually,
out to everybody.
I was thinking that too. Sorry.
Shout out to everybody over on Kick for
Yeah.
actually following this stupid podcast.
Hey.
I mean, it is what it is.
It's a great, stupid podcast.
It is a great stupid podcast. We do.
That
an
should be a
amazing
podcast
job.
name. Great, stupid podcast.
Yeah, the not so good podcast.
Kind of like, what is it? Whose line is it anyway? Where the jokes are? What's the tagline? The jokes don't matter. Something, and the jokes don't matter.
Where the jokes are made up and the
Points don't matter. That's it. Yeah, love that. That's kind of how we roll too. Except we have no points, so whatever.
Yeah, there's no point to this show. It's just us fumbling our way through. Pretty much.
One speech impediment fumbling at a time.
It's like
or
the old
one
Biden
stroke at
debate.
a time in my
Did I
case.
just say
Oh
that?
God, what?
What?
That's like me on a daily basis, and I'm trying to spit it out, man. Get it out there.
What was the question?
Train of thought. What was it? Hey, come on, man. What? Sorry. I can't help myself. Anyways, how excited are you that it's the
Pretty
4th
excited.
of July weekend?
Dude, I get
4th
an
of
extra
July
day.
week.
I get an extra day of pay. So
Hey.
yeah,
This is the first time ever that I get 2, and I mean 2 holiday paydays.
woo.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
I'm
look
so
out, guys.
excited.
Hey, save some of the pussy for the rest of us, Charles.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Big man on campus over here. Watch out.
Big dick swinging.
Watch out. Hey, now. That was not this case on the river last week. Oh, speaking of that,
What?
what did we do last weekend?
It was pretty cold.
God, it was cold as hell.
Yeah, but when you get out of the water,
Oh, man.
it was hot.
It was
we
so
went-
hot.
So we went camping and floating
Camping
this
and
weekend, and the floating was great. I had a good time floating.
Thankfully, there was no mysterious trouser snakes. It was just regular snakes.
No water moccasin.
Water moccasins. No, it was, I will say, oddly, yes, it was hot throughout the day, but I feel like the heat got worse because the humidity got worse.
Yeah.
Like we actually had fairly low humidity throughout the morning and most of the day. But
Yeah.
when we got off the river and the clouds started to roll in with the storm front coming in for that later in that evening, it got
me.
hot.
It got me.
I was this is going to sound horrible. I was more wet sitting in my chair at the campsite than I was in a boat in a river. I know. It's horrible. Okay, I get it. Okay, I'll get the jokes out of the way. Oh,
than in
God.
a boat down by the
Darn
river.
But it was a great time. Honestly, being on the river was exactly what I needed.
Surprisingly, I like you and I were talking before the show. We were kind of like messed up yesterday. Like our
Oh, yeah, it just
discombobulated
felt
a little
weird.
bit.
I mean, it
Just off.
carried over for today for me because I barely slept. Yeah,
Yeah.
wet, huh? Exactly.
Wink, wink.
Like a slip and slide. What?
Oh Jesus!
What?
You don't need
I'm done.
Jesus.
I'm gonna shut up now. I'm sorry. God, can't take me anywhere. Jesus.
God. Oh
Please
man,
forgive me. What? But
No.
it was a great time.
it was.
We regret
Like you said, the
not
heat.
bringing our fishing poles though.
Yes, 100%, man.
I don't know
I
if they allow that, Jess, but that would be pretty cool. Should have got one of those river tents and slept on a river. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, probably couldn't.
Nah, because they lock down that river pretty pretty solid. I mean,
There's
there
so
were
many
people swimming,
campground
though.
spots like that they
Oh,
own,
yeah.
like the riverbank, and if you get on the river and just put a tent there, you're gonna float downstream, probably end up in Oklahoma somewhere.
Yeah, and I mean, I gotta say, because one, we had like normally I don't bug out on campsites. I like to finish through. Yeah,
Like
but
the fish.
this one instance, there were just multiple facets, multiple reasons, whatever you want to say, why we definitely had to leave.
He ain't lying.
We had to get out of there, get out of there past Dodge.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to, whatever you want to talk about.
So Friday night, we got there Friday evening.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. We just
It was
had a couple
fun.
drinks. We
Yeah.
played some cornhole.
Played some cornhole. It was great.
Just hung out. It was
Had a
hot.
couple hot dogs.
It was hot.
It was hot. Mitch
Luckily,
didn't bring a fan.
poor Mitch.
God.
Man.
He decides
So-
to sleep outside and get eaten by bugs. It's fine.
We actually got a
Just
site
like
with
Chinese.
electricity, so we
What?
could bring fans.
Yeah.
And Mitch,
Yeah.
our third party, did not.
No, he decided not to bring a fan, even though he's like, yeah, I thought about it, but I just didn't do it. I was like, you should have listened to your intuition, man.
Yeah,
You
no
should have done
doubt.
it.
No doubt.
Dang.
That fan saved my life last night. Or
Dude,
that night.
same. Oh my gosh, my fan totally saved my life. Like, if I didn't have that fan, I would have been dying. I probably would have got in the car and turned on the AC. Not gonna lie, it
Yeah.
sucked. But yeah, that Friday. I mean, and then obviously Friday. Slept, got up in the morning, had some bomb breakfast from a gas station. Then got our booze, got our.
I'm gonna say I am a little peeved about the whole, we stayed at Gracie's campground down here in
Yeah.
Knoll, Missouri, Pineville, Missouri.
Pineville. Yeah.
I have my own kayak,
Mm.
and they charged me the same amount it would cost to rent a kayak through them. They charged me that amount to bring my kayak back to the campground.
Not only just to bring the kayak back, but to also let you ride on the bus.
It's whatever.
But here's the thing, though. The other place we went to go see if you could just park your truck or park your car
Yeah.
was charging $45
Just to park.
just to park the truck.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Now, I could have, just parked at a public access, which would have been another hour float for me.
Yeah.
You guys would have been back at the camp, but I would have been out floating.
Yeah, but you would have. I don't know if you would have made it back because by the time you got off the river and we got back to the,
I was out of drink. I was out of beer and
so
stuff. So.
dead. You were so like I'm gonna go lay down.
Dude, the heat got me.
Yeah, oh
The
yeah,
heat
it
really
did.
did.
I was actually worried. Like as soon as I saw your text, which was like 20 minutes later from when you sent it. Sorry.
Whoops.
Yeah, whoopsies. But yeah, it definitely was highway robbery, Jess. But then we find out, like literally the day before we left to go on this trip, that some other campground just opened up that's so much cheaper. We're like,
So
"God,
much.
son of a. Yeah.
But, yeah, I kind of made the point. I was like, you know what? I'm getting penalized for owning my own stuff.
Literally.
Like, this is
What it
America. If you own your own stuff, you're going to get penalized.
Yeah,
you're
but
going
to
have to
be
pay for it
fair-
still.
To be fair, though, if you would have bought one of their kayaks, I don't know if you would have had room for a cooler. Because they were pretty small.
They were.
Just saying.
Yep.
Because I'm glad Mitch and I bought a canoe, even though I know Mitch hated it. I'm glad we bought a canoe because we fit our 2 coolers in there. There was plenty of room for us. I mean, except when I had to sit in the front because, I'm not a small dude.
Yeah.
And that front had no room. I was
Mitchell-
hanging both legs out the side. I've got a bruise on the inside of my legs because I'm hanging my legs over the damn canoe.
I felt
okay.
bad for Mitch because, he sit there. I don't know how many he drank on the river.
I don't know.
I know he had one left by the time we got back, but I started dipping into his stash, too.
Like 2 or 3 maybe
Yeah.
out of a 12-pack.
After what I drank, he's like, oh, I can't believe you're not drunk yet. I'm like,
You were. You were.
towards the end of the night, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely were.
But I was fine, though. It was just when we stopped and when we ate, and then just sitting there in the heat really got to me.
Hey, I'm not the one that wanted to constantly stop. I'm just saying.
No. It was after we got off the river. just stopping. We were sitting there. We
Oh,
ate.
when you're saying with the guys, yeah, that.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's what messed me up.
Maybe.
I mean, it was good food. It tastes phenomenal.
Yeah.
But okay, Mitch says 6 Miller Lights, 2 Miller Lights at the campsite before the neighbors from hell came out of the woodwork, but their food was good, which they did. I mean, when we first set off, 2 dudes showed up like pretty much right next to us, and they pulled out like a big
Little
speaker, and like they were you could see the smoker he pulled out. I was like, damn, they're set up for a good time.
Yeah.
And
we're
so I
gonna
was
cook.
hoping it was going to be a great time, but honestly, it just became more obnoxious than anything.
They
I
were-
was
yeah.
so irritable from the river or from the heat is what I was obnoxious about. Like,
Drunks
or
doing
not-
karaoke
oh my god.
right next to us. Like, oh my
Normally, I
God.
don't care, like, because when you do karaoke, like, you're gonna have people that don't know how to sing.
Yeah, if you go to a
It's just
bar to do
how it
karaoke,
goes.
that's one thing. But like, if people
When you're
do
at a
karaoke
public
right next to you,
campsite,
and then they're like,
like, I know the camp, not counselors, but the like security or people who run the camp, like they passed us like 6 times around their golf cart, and then a sheriff showed up at one point too, and we were just like, bro, let's get the hell out of here. This is annoying as hell.
Yeah.
So then we just went back to Dave's and slept the rest of the night in the AC, and it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
If I will say, if we didn't do that, I would have been in worse shape the next
Oh,
day. For sure.
absolutely, absolutely.
For sure. It was so miserable staying at that campsite. Because I remember
Yeah.
leaning over to Mitch. I was like, honestly, man, if you weren't here and Dave was cool with it, I was probably going to leave out like an hour or head out like an hour ago. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, dude. And that's when I told you, like, eventually when you got up and you were getting around, I was like, hey, man, just not going to lie. I probably would have done this. You're like, well, you want to go back to the house then? I'm like, dude, go tell Mitch right now. Like, because it was getting dark. Like, you almost couldn't see anything. Like, we had to pack up and just get out of there. Oh, yeah,
Someone
that's another thing about our campsite, too.
This was true.
What?
Someone had to sing Kid Rock.
It did happen. It did happen. But,
It
you know,
did.
something else that I didn't like about our campsite? For some reason, our site was just filled with ants, dude. Like, I don't think I've ever seen so many ants at a campsite in my life. But you know, when we were going to those people's, the other people's campsite, I didn't see any ants. None. They didn't play any banjos, but they did have a guitar. But I gotta say, the guy who played the guitar was a phenomenal guitarist.
I was laying there hearing it, and I was thinking, man, I should get up and go play.
And the shape you were in.
Yeah, I didn't feel like getting up.
But all in all, it was a great weekend. Had a great time. Really, nothing went wrong. No boats tipped over. We didn't lose anything. No broken limbs. It was great. I just got to make sure to keep all my fingers this week.
I will just say, though, Friday night, I only slept for like an hour.
Oh, yeah, that's a fair point.
So, yeah, I was pretty exhausted.
Yeah, I bet.
But we had a good time. I got
Yeah.
a little bit burned. You guys can't see.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, you
What-
can. Looks like a
what
big
was
old
it?
bruise.
It
I
does.
got karate chopped.
What was it? Saturday, we came to the conclusion, or you came to the conclusion, is like, man, with how much money we spent, we could have stayed at the Crescent Hotel. I was like, damn, why did we do that instead?
No doubt. I'm not going to lie. We probably dropped around 400 on this trip.
Altogether, yeah. I
So.
would say altogether, because at least, yeah, so how much,
At least.
yeah, because we went to Walmart, like, oh, we're going to get 5 things. Nope.
We come out with 2 shopping carts.
Dude, 2 shopping carts full of crap. Oh, yeah, no, you guys bought the 20-pound bags, not the 6 pounds. Oh,
It's fine. It'll be fine.
it's fine.
Oh, that whole debacle with the ice. And then,
And then
and then
Mitch
at the
is just like a
campground,
huge block.
then at the campground, we buy more ice, which was another debacle because we got one more than we needed. Oh,
That's
Jesus.
fine. It was just $2. It was just $2.
Yeah, it was good. The wood sucked. Anyway,
The wood was horrible. Couldn't have a
Yeah.
campfire. I mean, plus it was way too hot for a campfire, personally.
I think maybe in the fall we should try again, but just not there.
Absolutely not there, because the bathrooms were horrible. It didn't seem like anybody had cleaned probably in a full season. The bathrooms were disgusting. But dead
Outhouse.
bugs everywhere, leaves everywhere.
Well, I mean that's going
Right.
to happen. at
Well,
any
no, but I
campground.
mean, Dave, when you have a place where people take care of that stuff and they actually check on things, that usually gets swept in with at least a week. There was more than just a week's worth of bugs dead in there. It was bad. So that's why I only took one shower, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this again. Plus, where you had like a little ledge to take a shower, you had to put your stuff on the outside of the shower. Like usually they have one like in that shower stall that you can like out of the way of the water, just in case. Yeah. No, it was on the outside of the shower. I'm not going to put my stuff for access where people could just walk in and take my stuff.
I was in there taking pictures, so I don't care.
Yeah, I know. They're out there somewhere, guys, if you're curious.
OnlyFans. So, anyway.
I didn't sign up for that, but okay.
What?
What?
Charles,
speaking of high seas,
what's our topic today?
Our topic is real ghost ships.
What? Real ghost shit.
Real ghost ships.
Ships.
Real ghost
There's
ships.
at the end of that.
There was a little bit.
A little bit.
Getting ASMR in here. I'm so stupid. It's fine. It's fine. We're
retarded.
dumb. That's great. What? At least I'm not like.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
I literally just said, at least I'm not Ben Stiller. Right when it cut off. It was perfect. Oh, gosh.
Anyway,
Good times.
ghost ships.
Ghost ships.
Why don't you kick us off, Charles? Yeah.
Sure, I'll kick us off on ghost ships. What are ghost ships?
And believe it or not, we actually planned this one.
We did, funny enough. I kind of did some research on this one and the one next
For next week.
weekish.
Next week is going to be fun. I'm
I'm
looking
excited
forward to
for
that.
next week's. I've been wanting to talk about this subject for a while. It's an interesting theory. Can't say I believe in it, but I'm very excited to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so let's get into what are ghost ships, guys. So
What are ghost ships?
I'll be reading from a website called American Oceans. Just want to make sure they get their credit. It's titled, whatever, What are ghost ships? The mysterious phenomena of abandoned vessels.
Oh, right.
Right.
Yeah.
Ghost ships have long captured the imagination of people. These are vessels that are found adrift or abandoned at sea with no crew on board. So would that mean the Titanic is technically a ghost ship? Technically?
No. I'm going to go with a no on that.
Tease.
It'll be a hard no for me.
Oh, God. Hi, Lisa. Good to have you here. No hard pass for you? Is that what it is?
It's going to be a no.
Hey, how was your vacation? I think you were on vacation, right? Yeah, I think you were. Hope you had a good time. Let's see. Yeah. Okay.
Because
So-
the ship
what?
has to return, right? To be a ghost ship, honestly.
Well, no, because there's pictures where there's like ships in the water. I think people they find.
Those are
them.
just sunken ships at that point.
Well, sure. All right. So ghost ships can be traced back to early days of seafaring, and their mysterious nature has led to many stories and legends surrounding them. The
Shut up,
history of
Jess, you
ghost.
don't know. Sorry.
Jesus, interrupt me, God.
Yeah. I was like, shut up, Jess, you don't know.
Hey, Lori, good to have you back. Feels like it's been forever. Miss you. Oh my God.
God. Hey, for our guy that's running the board, knock it off.
Bob, get it together, dude. Seriously,
Doubt.
what are you doing?
What do we
Come
pay
on.
you for?
Literally, like, we just need to like cut your pay down to $1 per show, or what? Come
Yeah.
on, dude. Get it together. Seriously.
Rookies.
Jesus, amateurs. What? Oh, he's getting up. Oh, shit, I think he's about to walk out. Well, whatever. We'll hire somebody else. Anyways.
Don't forget your walker.
Yeah. And I was going to say something else, but never mind. He probably wouldn't appreciate that. Oh, you were working at a trial, but there was worse places. Yeah, it's fair. Okay, well, location that is Miami, Florida. Yes. Okay. Well, I hope you had somewhat of a good time. All right. Let's get into this a little bit more. Despite the supernatural connotations of ghost ships, they have a significant impact on maritime industry. The discovery of abandoned vessels can lead to investigations into safety and security practices, and the recovery of valuable cargo from these ships can be lucrative business.
Ooh.
Like
I'm all
pirates
for the
and such.
lucrative businesses.
Same. In this article, we will explore the history and legends of ghost ships, as well as the impact they have had on the maritime industry. Takeaways from this article so far. Ghost ships are vessels found adrift or abandoned at sea with no crew on board. So yeah, I guess sunken ships wouldn't be a thing. And as we're going to talk about later, a very famous one is called Mary Celeste, and obviously the old tale of the Flying Dutchman. And ghost ships have had a significant impact, like we said, on the maritime industry, leading to investigations. Yeah, we already talked about that. Whatever. All right, so let's get into a little bit of the history, right? So ships have been a part of or ghost ships have been a part of the folklore of 4 centuries, and stories of these eerie vessels have been passed down through generations. These ships are often believed to be cursed, abandoned, or lost at sea, and sightings of them have been reported throughout history. In this section, we will explore the early folklore surrounding ghost ships and some of the more modern sightings that have occurred. So, real quick, though, I want to give a shout-out to the movie Ghost Ship. Fantastic.
One of the best
movie.
opening scenes.
Oh,
ever.
I was traumatized. I was so
Were you?
traumatized. Oh, yeah, as a kid. It was traumatized as like, oh, my God, this is so graphic, and I shouldn't be watching this. But it was a fantastic sequence. Fantastic. Like, I would rank it up there with 13 Ghosts graphic.
Like the intro, like for an intro scene.
Yeah, with the wire and everybody like getting chopped in
Yeah,
half.
yeah.
And, like, yeah.
I'm
Oh, yeah, it
trying
was
to think
super
of the-
graphic.
The intro scene for 13 Ghosts is when they capture
no.
the dude in there.
No, not intro scene with 13 Ghosts. I'm just saying, I think the biggest part of 13 Ghosts that got me was where the dude was walking backwards and then the wall closes and he just goes,
Yeah, half of them.
yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Just,
Yeah.
and you see his face just like instantly change, like, oh, yeah, he's dead. He's so dead. Good times. Anyway,
I watch Faces of Death. That never happens.
I know, right?
You don't
The-
make those
the
faces.
nerves, you don't. It's
Yeah, no.
impossible.
Yeah.
So, early folklore. The earliest stories of ghost ships date back to ancient times, with tales of cursed vessels and haunted seas appearing in Greek and Roman mythology. That's pretty cool.
That's new
In
on
Norse
me.
right? In Norse mythology, the ship not flower. Yep, not
Cauliflower?
flower. Yeah, something like that.
The
Was
cauliflower.
said to be made entirely of nails of the dead and would sail to the final battle of Ragnarok. I'm guessing nails, like fingernails of the dead, because I don't see you have metal nails of the dead. Anyway.
Yeah.
In Middle Ages, ghost ships were often associated with the Wild Hunt, a spectral procession of hunters and hounds that was said to portend death and disaster. One of the most famous ghost ship sightings in history is the Mary Celeste. You want to get into that?
Yep. Let's talk about the Mary.
Let's talk about
Celeste.
the Celeste.
Here. Let me get this ad off here. So this is an article from the Smithsonian. So we know it's real.
Sorry.
Let's see here. I had a place for this.
Wow, way to be prepared, Dave.
I know.
What the heck? It's waiting. You know, you need that soundbite from Caddyshack where the guy's like, well, we're waiting.
All
That
right.
one. That's a good one.
So we'll just start at the top. This whole thing's a little confusing.
Bermuda Triangle. Great vacation.
The British brig De Gradia was about 400 miles east of the Azores. It's a mountain. On December 5th, 1872, when crew members spotted a ship adrift in the choppy seas. Captain David Morehouse was taken aback to discover that the unguided vessel was the Mary Celeste, which had left New York City 8 days before him and should have already arrived in Genoa, Italy. He changed course to offer help. Morehouse sent a boarding party to the ship. Below decks, the ship's charts had been tossed about, and the crewmen's belongings were still in their quarters. The ship's only lifeboat was missing, and one of its 2 pumps had been disassembled. 3.5 feet of water was sloshing around in the ship's bottom. Through the cargo of 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol was largely intact. There was a 6-month supply of food and water, but not a soul to consume it. Thus was born one of the most durable mysteries in nautical history. What happened to the 10 people who had sailed aboard the Mary Celeste? Through the decades, the lack of hard facts has only spurred speculation as to what might have taken place. Theories have ranged from mutiny to pirates to sea monsters to killer waterspouts. Arthur Conan Doyle's 1884 short story based on the case posited a capture by a vengeful ex-slave. 1935 movie featured Bela Lugosi as a homicidal sailor. Now, a new investigation, drawing on modern maritime technology and newly discovered documents, has pieced together the most likely scenario. The ship began its fateful voyage on November 7th of 1872, sailing with 7 crewmen and Captain Benjamin Spooner Briggs, his wife, Sarah, and the couple's 2-year-old daughter, Sophia. 10 total. The 282-ton brigantine battled heavy weather for 2 weeks to reach the Azores. Well, I don't know how you say it. I'm not French. I'm not French. It don't matter.
No,
I'm American. Hey, this is America. We speak American.
Who cares? No, I'm kidding. That's
I just
racist.
cracked myself up with that one.
What? Yeah, I bet you did.
jeez.
They call him Davisms. He
Davisms.
cracks himself up so hard.
Yes. Oh, man. Where the ship's log last entry was recorded at 5 a.m. on November 25th. Anyway, after spotting the Mary Celeste 10 days later, the De Gracia crewmen sailed the ship some 800 miles. Eat a dick.
Sorry. It's just funny.
De Gracias.
I was thinking Degrassi, the TV show, but that works too.
Oh, there's that too. Yeah. All right. Anyway, crewmen sailed the ship over some 800 miles to Gibraltar, where a British Vice Admiralty court convened a salvage hearing. What the? Okay.
I think Dave's having the strokes tonight, guys. Not
Trying to read this. It's so stupid. Way to go, Smithsonian. Supposed to be smart.
Way to write an article, guys.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Jesus. Get it together, man. So anyway, I'm guessing from what this sentence is trying to say is that after they spotted the ship and reclaimed it, they sailed it back to Gibraltar, where they had a salvage hearing, which was usually limited to determining whether the salvagers, in this case the crewmen, were entitled to payment from the ship's insurers. But the Attorney General in charge of the inquiry, Frederick Flood, suspected mischief and investigated accordingly. After more than 3 months, the court found no evidence of foul play. Eventually, the salvagers received a payment, but only 1/6 of the $46,000 for which the ship and its cargo had been insured, suggesting that the authorities were not entirely convinced that the crews were innocent.
Okay.
The story of the Mary Celeste might have drifted into history if Conan Doyle hadn't published J. Habakkuk Jeffson's statement. Yeah, that's his name. Imagine going to school with that. In 1884, he published this statement.
Wow.
His sensationalistic account, printed in Cornhill magazine, set off waves of theorizing about the ship's fate. Even Attorney General Flood revisited the case, writing summaries of his interviews and notes, but the mystery remained unsolved. McGregor picked up the trail in 2002, saying there's so much nonsense written about this legend. She said, "I felt compelled to find the truth." Well, that's what she did, folks. McGregor's 4 previous investigative documentaries applied modern forensic techniques to historical questions. For her Mary Celeste film, McGregor began by asking what didn't happen. Speculation concerning sea monsters was rather easy to dismiss. I guess she's never heard of the Loch Ness Monster. Or the Kraken.
Right.
The ship's condition, intact and full of cargo, seemed to rule out pirates. One theory bandied about in the 19th century held that crew members drank the alcohol on board and mutinied. There's a bug flying around here. After interviewing crewmen's descendants, McGregor deemed that scenario unlikely. Another theory assumed that alcohol vapors expanded in the Azores heat and blew off the main hatch, prompting those aboard to fear an imminent explosion. But McGregor notes that the boarding party found the main hatch secure and did not report smelling any fumes. True, she says, 9 of the 1,700 barrels in the hold were empty, but the empty 9 had been recorded as being made of red oak, not white oak like all the others. Red oak is known to be a more porous wood and therefore more likely to leak. As for that homicidal sailor played by Lugosi, he may have been drawn from 2 German crewmen, brothers Volkert and Boy, who fell under suspicion because none of their personal possessions were found on the abandoned ship. But a Lorenzen descendant from Boy told McGregor that the pair had lost their gear in a shipwreck earlier in 1872. They had no motive. I kind of feel like that was motive. We got nothing and we're on a ship with everything. So after ruling out what didn't happen, McGregor confronted the question of what might have happened. Abandoning a ship in the open sea is the last thing a captain would order and a sailor would do. But is that what Captain Briggs ordered? And if so, why? His ship was seaworthy. It wasn't flooded or horribly damaged. Wow. The Discovery crew sailed it, so it was in really good shape. Briggs's life before the Mary Celeste offered no clues, said McGregor, who visited the captain's hometown of Marion, Massachusetts, and interviewed descendants of Arthur Briggs. McGregor learned that the captain was experienced and respected in shipping circles. There was never a question that he would do something irrational. Did Briggs then have a rational reason to abandon ship? McGregor figured that if she could determine the precise spot from which Briggs, his family, and crew abandoned ship, she might be able to shed light on why. She knew from transcriptions of the Mary Celeste's log slate, where notations were made before they were transcribed into the log, that the ship was 6 miles from and within sight of the Azores island of Santa Maria on November 25th. Okay. She knew from the testimony of the De Gradia crew that 10 days later the ship was some 400 miles east of the island. McGregor and Richardson asked to work backwards and create a path between these 2 points. Richardson, who's works with an comprehensive ocean. I'm not even gonna. He's a scientist.
Yep.
He said he would need water temperatures, wind speed, and wind directions at the time. Data that McGregor found in a log in a database that stores global marine information. They actually have that information from 1784 to 2007. Like, that information is stored. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So they drew on the data to determine whether the Celeste could have drifted from its recorded location on November 25th to where it was found on December 5th. Their conclusion? Yes, it could have, even without a crew to sail it. They found that it basically just sailed itself. At that point, McGregor considered the fact that a captain would most likely order a ship abandoned within sight of land. Since Santa Maria was the last land before hundreds of miles, it seems safe to assume that the Mary Celeste had been abandoned the morning of November 25th after the last log entry was written. But why? Why would he do that?
Wow, indeed.
Why would he do that? So on this point, McGregor says Attorney General Flood's notes are crucial. He wrote that he saw nothing unusual about the voyage until the last 5 days, which is why he transcribed the ship's log starting 5 days from the end. The ship's log is believed to have been lost in 1885, so those transcriptions provided the only means for McGregor and Richardson to plot the course and positions logged for the ship. The two then
Susan.
Reconsidered... Huh?
I was just saying, hey, Susan.
So they
She
reconsidered
said,
all
ahoy,
the...
mateys. I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
Oh my
now. Jeez.
God, it's making it
How
hard to
dare
get
I?
through.
How dare I?
So the two reconsidered the positions based on the data and sea conditions at the time. Their conclusion: Briggs was actually 120 miles west of where he thought he was, probably because of an inaccurate chronometer.
Spit it out there, bud.
Chronometer. Yeah. Compass.
Chronometer.
Let's just call it what it is, okay?
Chronometer. Yeah.
So by
Is
the
it sextant?
captain's
What?
by the captain's calculations, he should have sighted land 3 days earlier than he did.
Yar, good to have you here, Cussy.
Flood's notes yielded one other piece of information that McGregor and Richardson considered significant. The day before he reached the Azores, Briggs changed course and headed north of Santa Maria Island, perhaps seeking haven. The night before the last entry in the ship's log, the Mary Celeste again faced rough seas and winds of more than 35 knots. Still, McGregor reasons rough seas and a faulty chronometer wouldn't.
Got him again.
There's that word.
Here's that word again.
That word's so stupid I can't even pronounce it.
Should have proofread the article before.
You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's fine.
So, those things wouldn't prompt an experienced captain to abandon ship. So was there something else?
Ooh.
Again, more questions.
Ed.
McGregor learned that on its previous voyage, the Mary Celeste had carried coal and that the ship had recently been extensively refitted. Coal dust and construction debris could have fouled the ship's pumps, which would explain the disassembled pump found on the Mary Celeste. With the pump inoperative, Briggs would not have known how much seawater was in his ship's hull, which was too fully packed for him to measure visually. Too much alcohol. At that point, says McGregor, Briggs, having come through rough weather, having finally and belatedly sighted land, and having no way of determining whether his ship would sink, might well have issued an order to abandon ship. But, like Attorney General Flood said, McGregor can't leave the story of the Mary Celeste alone. She's continuing her investigation for a book. Research goes on. So, no definitive answers, but can we just say aliens?
Aliens.
Perhaps, like, I don't know, Christopher Columbus, they spotted lights in the sky and maybe some in the ocean.
Maybe.
And they're
That's
like,
a very good point.
fuck this, I'm out.
That's a very good point.
I mean, the captain had a 2-year-old on board.
Literally. Yeah. It's, what the hell?
So, I would assume it was something pretty bad if you're going to get a lifeboat for
Yeah, you'd think.
10 people and 9 people and a baby.
Oh, yeah. You'd think, but hey.
You know?
What's responsibilities?
Responsibility.
So the other famous ghost boat that I want to talk about here, and it's not going to be as long-winded as Dave's, just saying. It's the famous Flying Dutchman. So I'm just going to get into that one. So in 1641, Captain Henrik van der Decken, the Dutchman, which I think we've talked about this one already, but I don't mind. Not today, but in a different show. Was making a return trip from the East Indies with a loaded ship of spices, silk, and other goods to be home or to his home of Amsterdam when particularly awful storms came upon them. And while his crew begged him to turn around, the Dutchman was determined to pull through. Unfortunately, the ship was too much, the storm was too much for the ship, and it sank in South African waters. Every now and again, sailors report seeing the Flying Dutchman on the horizon. It is said to be a symbol of imminent doom or danger known as the Curse of the Flying Dutchman. The appearance of the Flying Dutchman is said to be explained by a Fata Morgana, a type of mirage that is most associated with open ocean. But another ship, did you know, it's actually a famous ship in American history, is considered a ghost ship?
The Black Pearl.
No. I'll give you one more guess.
No
cheating.
The USS Ulysses. I don't know.
No. Well before that.
Well before that, I'm gonna go with the Santa Maria.
You're close.
The Nina.
Yes.
Woo!
Took you long enough.
Look
All
at
right,
that.
So Right?
I know my
the
boats.
Nina, a yacht carrying 6 Americans and 1 British man, set sail from the Bay of Islands in New Zealand and in May of 2000. Whoa, Jesus.
It's not the same one.
This ain't the same one. I'm totally wrong. See, that's what
Wow.
happens when you don't proofread your stuff. So why do they call it the Nina?
Oh my
Well,
God! Look at how the
What an
tables have
embarrassing
turned.
turn of events.
Oh man!
Who the fuck is this asshole?
Actually, if you read on a little bit farther, I'm going to just go ahead
Whoop.
and continue reading here. So, they set sail in May 2013. The crew was last heard from on June 4th after a ocean storm had it. A text message sent from one of the occupants saying that the storm had shredded the sails. They promised to check back later, but were never heard from again. The Nina, which it's not the same one, but it's fine, was built in 1928 and was on its way to Australia. Authorities searched for over 100,000 square nautical miles, but were unable to find them, and the search was called off. It was called off. On September 15, 2013, a satellite image showed a ship floating approximately 184 nautical miles west of Norfolk Island, but it appears to have not been that ship, and the fate to the Nina and its occupants remains unknown.
No.
Is there any of the other ships you want to talk about?
I do have one more. This
Go for
one would have been.
And I
fun
do
to
have a
find.
newer one that's like, it's very brief, but it's still like, it's a newer ghost ship.
Okay. Now I'm not gonna be able to like pronounce this one perfectly, obviously, because American. I speak American. This is the
Thanks for trying, Cassie.
the SS Orang Medan. Ourang.
Okay, hold on. Slow down. Spell that again.
Ourang
Orang.
Medan.
It'd be either Medan or
Orang.
Medan.
Orang Medan or Medan.
Orang Medan. Where's it
Madden.
based out of?
John
Does
Madden.
it say?
USS John Madden.
Is it a British? Like, where is it from?
Shit. I don't know. Let me just get into it. Maybe it'll say.
All
it's
right,
this.
get
I
into
didn't
it.
proofread this.
Right on.
I didn't proofread this.
I know.
Think I do my homework? That's right. Iron Maiden. USS Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden, love
Yes,
it.
yes.
That's even better.
Oh, jeez.
Now you
All
lost
right.
it, didn't you?
So
All right.
here is the eerie legend of the SS Orang Maiden. I want to say
It's not
Maiden.
Maiden.
I know. I got Iron Maiden in my head now.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Sex, the number of the beast. All right. The story of the SS Orang Medan, that's how I'm going to pronounce it, differs depending on the
Orang
source.
Medan?
Yep.
Sorry.
Mead.
Okay. All right.
Drink some mead.
Yeah.
Medan. But one of the most popular versions of the
Mead
tale
exorcist.
states that the ship was traveling through the Strait of Metallica.
Nice. Malika.
I'm gonna call it Metallica because Malika.
We're already on Iron Maiden, Metallica. Perfect.
Right. I'll spell that Malacca. Malika.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Malika.
Metallica.
Malika.
Metallica. Anyway. So the ship was traveling through the Strait of Metallica at some point during the 1940s. See how I did it without skipping a beat?
Yeah, I know you did.
Yeah, because that's how I roll. Another ship that was nearby picked up a strange message coming from the Orang Medan. It said, "We float. All officers, including the captain, dead in chart room and on bridge. Probably whole of crew dead. I die."
Wow.
Imagine like just being out there in the ocean and then getting a message like that. You're like, what the frig?
Yep.
Who's dead? So an American vessel called the Silver Star set out to investigate. When the ship came across the Orang Medan, a group of men boarded it to find a grisly sight awaiting them. The entire crew was dead, teeth bared with their upturned faces to the sun, staring as if in fear. Even the ship's dog had died mid-snarl, strangely. However, none of the bodies showed any signs of physical injury. The crew of the Silver Star was about to tow the SS Orang Medan to port when they noticed smoke billowing from the vessel. The rescuers made it to safety just before the ship exploded. The Orang Medan then sank to the bottom of the sea, never to be seen again. Many versions of the legend end there. However, one report claimed that there was a lone survivor who provided more details about the ship's fate. And this is his story. As reported by the Shipyard blog, one account of the SS Orang Medan spoke of a man named Jerry Rabbit. That's
all right. A hell of a name.
He had a lot of kids. Rabbit reportedly washed up on the shore of the Marshall Islands in a lifeboat with 6 dead crew members 10 days later after it exploded. He made contact with a missionary and told him a peculiar tale of survival. Rabbit said that he had joined the crew of the Medan in Shanghai. He claimed that 15,000 crates of unknown cargo were loaded onto the vessel before it set off for Costa Rica. It was only then that Rabbit realized he had joined a smuggling operation. You know what he was smuggling? You have any clue?
No.
I can tell you what he was smuggling.
What was he smuggling?
These nuts. Got him!
You're ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, when Rabbit heard his fellow crewmen complaining of stomach cramps, he grew suspicious. And when a crew member died, he knew he had to find out what the ship was carrying. He peeked at the vessel's logbook and discovered that the crates from China held sulfuric acid.
You didn't pronounce it right.
Sulfuric?
No, China. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Crates from China. Held sulfuric acid, potassium cyanide, and nitroglycerin. Rabbit suspected that the sulfuric acid was leaking, creating a gas that was slowly suffocating the crew.
Dude, each time you say Rabbit, all I think of is Eminem from 8 Mile. Just
Be Rabbit!
right. That's all I can think of.
Go be Rabbit!
So I just see Eminem in his freaking beanie, his gray jacket, white shirt, whatever the hell he's wearing, and just standing there, just like, what the hell's happening, guys? Like, just, I don't know. That's just all I can think of.
You just made me think of Houdini when he steps through the portal. He's like, what the
There you
fuck?
go. Like, what is happening? Hey, Cassie's on my level, though. She gets it.
She gets it. Jeez. Come on, Charles. Come on, man.
Nah, it's you that needs to get it, not me.
Okay.
Better than Rita Rabbit, you know?
Anyway. Oh, my God. Rabbit suspected that the sulfuric acid was leaking, creating a gas that was slowly suffocating the crew.
Did you smell that?
I can't smell shit. As more men started dropping dead, Rabbit and 6 others sneaked away in a lifeboat. None of his crewmates had survived the journey, and Rabbit himself died soon after repeating his strange tale.
Jeez.
Aside from one story printed in a 1940s newspaper, there's no record of Jerry Rabbit's existence. In fact, there's no record of a ship by the name of SS Orang Medan at all.
Huh.
So did it ever exist?
I mean, maybe.
According to Lloyd's Register of Ships, which has kept a record of every merchant ship since 1764, no ship by the name of SS Orang Medan was ever documented, and there are no official incident reports about the ship sinking. What's more, no evidence of the wreck was ever found in the Strait of Metallica or anywhere else.
That should be a song.
The Strait of Metallica?
Yeah, or an album, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
That should be a thing. Anyway.
A German researcher named Professor Theodor Seersdorfer. Wow, I got that one. Seersdorfer once found a 1953 publication titled "The Death Ship in the South Seas" that offered evidence about the incident. The book suggested that the orang medan was indeed carrying potassium cyanide and nitroglycerin, which caused it to explode. If the ship sank either during or directly after World War II, the secrecy surrounding the vessel would make sense. Those materials were sensitive items to be transporting at the time. However, one reported account of the ship does not mean that it truly existed. As Michael East, huh?
I said, huh. Just, huh.
Huh. Wow, we're retarded.
You're the one that stopped, not me. I just went, huh.
As Michael East, a history and true crime writer.
William Webb, was it really the SSD's nuts? Yes, William, can confirm.
Truth shall set you free. As Michael East, a history and true crime writer, told How Stuff Works, there is no shipping record of a vessel under that name. Nobody ever came forward to say they knew of the ship or had served on her. Equally, the inconsistent dates constantly stand out, as does changing locations. But imagine this, guys. Imagine just being out sailing and you come across this ship and you're like, well, go board it. And then you get on board and there's a bunch of dead bodies,
Yep. Or just nobody.
in fear.
Oh, yeah. Could you imagine?
Dude,
Kind of
that'd be intense.
I don't think they're intense out on the water, but okay. It's kind of be like when you stumble across Medusa's lair and you have all the frozen petrified statues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got me thinking of that Medusa video you sent me.
I was just about you enjoyed
I
that
figured
video.
you were. I knew where you were going with this, you sly devil. But no, that.
Is that for parrot? Is that what that did? That's what I read when I read Jessica's comment. That's a case for pirate. Pirate? Oh, for pirate. Okay, maybe I got it now. Is it different kind of pirate, but pirate?
I don't know.
I don't know what you're saying.
He ain't lying.
I love that meme so much. That's a great video. That's a great soundbite. Love it.
Oh man. But no, so with a lot of these ships that are being, I guess, discovered, and there are some other ships out there that truly have been considered ghost ships.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of mystery surrounding what happened, because without those logs, you don't know. You can only speculate.
So and this is where I wanted to kind of get into. That's a perfect segue, into the causes of abandonment, right? So
yes, let's get into
you
it.
have your natural disasters such as hurricanes, typhoons, tsunamis that can
Your father
cause a
going
ship
out for
to sink,
cigarettes.
or your father going out for cigarettes, never coming back.
Several days later.
In these situations, the crew may have no choice but to abandon ship and try to survive on life rafts. In some cases, the ship may also be badly damaged so that it sinks quickly, leaving no time for the crew to issue a distress signal. So, sinking ship, done, right there. You hear it? Yeah.
Sinking ship.
That's it. That's a ghost ship right there, boy. Anyways,
That's all?
piracy. Piracy can be a huge thing. That could be a big point of ships being completely abandoned. You take all the booty and actually that's a good point. All the goods and the people and just goodbye, bye sheep. But Poirot.
This is my ship now. I'm the captain.
I am the captain.
Look at me.
It's so hard to research stories from that era because of the yellow journalism. Absolutely.
Racist.
Pronounced Poirot, Agatha Christie detective. Oh, that makes more sense.
Yes.
I was a little confused, not gonna lie. So there's also technical failure, is another reason why ships may be abandoned. Navigational equipment fails, causing the ship to drift off course and become lost at sea. Like going through the Bermuda Triangle or other triangles. You just kind of lose your equipment. Just sucks.
Here's a question to ponder. I mean really ponder this.
Okay. Let me get my
All right.
pondering.
The Philadelphia experiment. What was the ship that they teleported, supposedly?
I don't know.
Well,
I know we
anyway,
talked about it, right?
that ship, could it be considered a ghost ship?
Well, they officially did teleport it, right?
Not officially.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I guess I don't know. How long has it been since we talked about this?
I don't think we talked about it on the show.
Okay, then I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know the Philadelphia experiment where they
Not off the top of my
teleported
head.
the ship, and then when they brought it back, there's like people in the walls and shit, and some people were missing, and
Nope.
oh,
That's a topic
Whoopsies.
for discussion.
whoopsie daisies. Oh.
See us in 3 weeks for that topic, guys. 'Cause that sounds interesting. I don't
Have you
think
not heard of that?
I think I've heard of the name, but I don't know of the actual topic.
Wow,
The research.
you're blowing
the
my mind right
research,
now.
man.
You're blowing my mind.
I'm just saying. I know certain things, but not other things about just things.
About what
Bad
things?
things? Exactly. I don't know.
Bad
Um,
things.
So let's get into a little bit more of the paranormal side of things with ghost ships.
Oh
So ghost ships have been a source of fascination and fear for centuries. These vessels appear to be abandoned, yet they continue to sail on their own, often with no crew or passengers on board. Like the, what is it? It's from the Goonies. Help me out here. One-Eyed Willie and his boat. Did it have a name? Did the boat have a name?
I'm sure it did. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I watched the Goonies. But William, you missed part of the show because we did talk about.
Yeah,
the
we
Mary
did
Celeste.
in depth too. Like we really talked about it in depth.
It was like 3 days long.
And yes, Michael Roberts, the USS Eldridge. Yes. But what was? For all my movie buffs here, what is the ship called?
The Armada.
No. Did the,
You know
is
what?
it the Armada?
I don't know. We're having one of those moments.
Because they would always talk about just One-Eyed Willie's treasure. They would never talk about the actual ship, right?
The
they would
USS.
Matt Damon.
You son of a...
Moving on.
He did it again.
Moving
He did
on.
it again. No, anyways. So that would be a ghost ship, right? Because the skeletons and all that jazz, like they're on there, they're dead, but the boat's just.
Yeah.
I mean, the
'Cause
kids set it off.
yeah.
They set off a booby trap, but it wasn't a booby trap.
Booty trap.
Oh yeah, booty trap. That's what I said. The ship was the
You sounded
Inferno?
just like him right there. That's what I
I
said.
know. I could.
You need to say that.
I've
to Mitch
watched
all the
that
time.
movie so many times. Well, and
Oh, man.
Jonathan Yang. I don't know his name exactly, but I watched him in Inferno. Thank you. I watched him in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. He was Short Round. Love that movie too.
Flying
So his
Dutchman.
his speech, I just kind of have it ingrained in my mind. You call him Dr. Jones, dog. It's such a good movie. Such a good movie. So yeah, right.
The Flying Dutchman was actually.
So
what
some
it was
people
called.
believe that ghost ships can be caused from paranormal or supernatural. No, it was not the Flying Dutchman.
Oh, I thought. Okay, so William says the ship.
No,
was
that's
Inferno.
Davy Jones in the Flying. Well, Davy Jones's locker, but SpongeBob had Davy Jones, the Flying Dutchman. No, I'm pretty sure it was the Inferno. I think
Okay, I thought that
William's
was
right,
another movie
Cassie's
you were
right,
talking about.
Michael
Okay,
Roberts. No,
getcha.
how long has it been since you've seen the Goonies?
it's been a long time.
Dang, you need to educate yourself.
I did grow up. So.
Fantastic. The audacity. You do not need to grow up to watch that movie. Or to not watch that movie. It's such a good movie.
I got other things going on in life.
Oh, okay, like ghost hunting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duh, stupid.
Putting on paranormal movies. Hey, they were hunting buried treasure. Well, not buried treasure, but they were hunting hidden treasure. And they found it, and it was awesome. It's a great movie. So, paranormal activities. Many people believe that ghost
Paranormal
ships
activities?
result of...
What? Huh?
We did go floating this weekend. Anyway,
Did you say something?
some claims that these vessels are haunted by spirits of their former crew and passengers, while others believe that they are the work of malevolent supernatural forces. Just think about it. Maybe if somebody was transporting haunted objects, like cursed objects,
Could be.
Because I mean, technically, the whole thing with the Flying Dutchman.
That new Dracula movie.
I'm actually. You mean?
Where they're like transporting Dracula's body in a helicopter and.
Oh, okay. I was.
Yeah, idiots.
I thought you meant Nosferatu because I actually saw the trailer for that and it looked pretty good.
I think it is. No, I don't know.
No,
There's
it's
a
not.
new one that was coming out.
It's set in like olden times. Like it's.
Is
it's
it?
basically a
Okay.
retelling of the old silent movie.
So no, it's not.
I'm
Yeah,
super
it's a different
excited.
Dracula movie, but
The original Dracula. I was being silly. Flying Dutch. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah,
we got that, Jess.
We love the Flying Dutchman. Anyways,
I've not even been drinking, and I'm just like, yeah. Anyway.
just having a great time. So what I was getting at though is,
shit.
if you think about it, the Black Pearl, right, from Pirates of the Caribbean, that whole crew was cursed because of the gold, because of the Spanish gold.
Yeah.
And if they didn't get every single coin, they were continued to be cursed for the rest of their lives and have the blood spilt of. I still don't understand why the whole blood spilling thing or a drop of blood from like their of a certain crew member. I just don't know how that works into the whole thing, but whatever. It's a movie. Who cares?
Can you imagine if that was true and then like some treasure hunter finds a coin like, oh shit, look at this, and then curse again all over again.
Well, he
They're
wouldn't
like,
be cursed. It'd be the
No.
ones that stole the treasure.
I know.
Oh,
They'd be like, oh crap, here we go again.
yep. Here we go.
Back
Darn
on
it.
back on a mission. So we can find one coin.
One frickin' coin. All right, so haunted ships. There are many stories of haunted ships, some of which have become legendary. One of the most famous, of course, is the Flying Dutchman. Duh. According to the legend, well,
You know how
Whatever.
the Flying Dutchman
What?
that was actually motorized. The Flying Dutchman had a double Dutch rudder.
I hate you so much. I hate you. Another famous ghost ship was the
Worked
Mary
by two
Celeste.
crew
We already
members.
talked about that one. I'm done. Okay, so impact. Now we're going to talk about the impact of the maritime.
Oh
because,
no.
You know, well, before we talk
Hey.
about that, you know, I can
Jeez.
imagine on if you're a crew member out at sea or whatever, you see a phantom ship, what have you. Like what was it? Wasn't it in The Princess Bride? They may have thought that ship following him might have been a ghost ship. I can't remember. Maybe not, but whatever. Could you just imagine though if you're out on the ocean and it's just like, oh look, there's a ship, and then all of a sudden there's no ship. It's like, oh, what the hell was that? It's the Flying Dutchman. You know what I mean?
After
Like,
that, I'd be looking for the Kraken. Like, all right, I'm seeing that.
I'd be looking
so-
for a bottle of something to
Like,
drink.
what
That's
else
I'd be
is
looking
there?
for. And like, do I have cabin fever? Oh God!
Am I going to drink the salt water? Or am I going to drink my pee? Salt water, pee.
Just take the salt water and boil it.
Yep.
It's fine. Just drink rum.
Okay, you're on a raft, right? In the ocean.
Okay. Yeah.
You have nothing to drink.
Yeah.
What are you going to drink?
Sweat. I'm gonna collect the sweat in my nasty clothes and just all over me.
If you have a plastic bag in a cup, you can put salt water in the cup, put the plastic bag over it, and let the evaporation hit the plastic bag, and then the evaporation will turn into water again.
Look at
drop
Mr.
down.
MacGyver over here.
Hey, survival school, right?
So, ghost ships have a significant impact on maritime industry. The presence of these abandoned vessels poses safety risks and legal implications. These sections will explore the impact of ghost ships on the maritime industry, including safety measures and legal implications. I mean, think about it. If you're, you know, there's not theories, but yes, I want to watch that movie so bad right now. That's such a good movie. Muppet Treasure Island, fantastic. So I kind of help myself. It's one of my favorite parts as a kid. So, if you think about like all the, what is it, the graveyard of ships or the ship cemetery or whatever you want to call it, yeah, you can't really pass through those waters, especially if it's like so many broken down ships. So it's just definitely a big risk for sure. So some of the safety measures they have is the presence of ghost ships in the ocean poses a significant safety risk to other vessels. These abandoned ships can cause collisions, and their presence can be dangerous to other ships. The lack of maintenance and upkeep on these vessels can lead to structural damage, which can cause them to sink or break apart, creating a significant hazard for other vessels in the area. To mitigate these risks, the maritime industry has implemented several safety measures. For example, lifeboats. Makes sense. And other safety equipment are required on all vessels to ensure that the safety of the crew and passengers in case of an emergency. Additionally, the industry has implemented strict regulations regarding the decommissioning and disposal of vessels to prevent them from becoming ghost ships, which makes sense. Legal implications. The presence of ghost ships can also have legal implications. Wow, I just said that. When a vessel is abandoned, it becomes a derelict vessel, which can lead to legal issues for the owner in maritime industry. For example, if a ghost ship is found to be leaking oil or other hazardous materials, the owner may be held liable for environmental damage caused by the vessel. That would suck.
Those are some fines.
Yeah, big fines. Big fines. Furthermore, the presence of ghost ships can also impact the cruise industry. Passengers on cruise ships may be concerned about the potential danger posed by these abandoned vessels, which can lead to decrease in bookings and revenue for the industry. Not worried about hitting icebergs, though.
I mean, unless you have insurance.
Unless you have insurance, which is a theory about that whole thing.
I know.
That was good. I see what you did there. It was good. That was good. But that's our take on ghost ships, guys. And, I mean, there's so many. Gosh.
There's a lot of stories.
There's a lot of different stories of ghost ships. I mean, I think I pulled up one where it was like 25 haunted stories of ghost ships. But they didn't really go into depth as much as we wanted. And with us having an hour, we figured just to pick a couple specific ones that people know, of course. Because the other ones is just like a paragraph, maybe. Yeah. So if you'd like to do more research, honestly, just go to Google and type in real ghost ships. Don't even, I mean, you can also do, legendary ghost ships or what have you, but you're going to find those clickbaits like top 10 ghost ships, top 20 ghost ships, the ghost ships you didn't know exist, like all that kind of stuff. So
you remind
what?
You remind me of you've seen Aqua Teen Hunger Force, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you remember the episode with the dancing gold miner? I want to do my little jig.
I'm going to do my little jig.
Come on, let's dance. That's what you reminded me of for a second there. I want to do my jig.
I used to have a great Meatwad impersonation.
Oh, God. That. I bet you did.
I did. I can't do it right on the spot right now. It's fine. You could do a full You could do a full show on the ghost ships on the American side of the Great Lakes. Haven't we talked about the Great Lakes? We talked about the triangle of the Great Lake.
Yeah.
Which we talk about. I think one of the ghost, or what is it, the graveyard, ghost yard, shipyard, ghost graveyard,
ship graveyard.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Had to put the neurons firing and all that stuff. Had to connect the dots somewhere. Yeah. Sorry. After all that reading, my mind just kind of goes blah.
I actually think we did a show.
We did a
long
whole
time ago
show
about like mysterious places.
Yeah,
and
like in the water, in waters. I'm pretty sure.
There was like a triangle kind of thing over the Great Lakes, and then there's Alaska and the Zona de Silencio.
Isn't there like a
Silencio.
dragon one too?
Yeah, over in Japan.
Yeah,
the Dragon's Triangle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, that might have been on our old channel though. Was that on this one?
No, it was on the old one.
So just type in old Boogeyman Radio, or we can just re-upload it.
Yeah,
it's fine.
You can just do that. But
yeah,
no. Next week's episode, guys, we've got an interesting one, and honestly, I didn't even know about this until I stumbled upon it earlier this past week. And do we want to tell them what it is, Chuck?
Yeah, might as well.
All right, tell them.
Tartaria. Y'all know what that is? You know what Tartaria is? The possibility of Tartaria, the mudslides, the legendary mudslide of the 1800s.
So basically, like, you guys know of the city of Atlantis, ancient Sumeria, all these advanced civilizations that were more advanced than what we figured they would be, right?
Right.
Well, this is another one of those.
Essentially, it was like Asia, part of America, and something else that was considered to be a massive empire, massive civilization, and it just, over the years, the victors, the people who have won throughout history, has slowly changed our history to the way that they want it.
Yes.
To make us believe in certain things.
So
that's at least that's the theory. So
next week we have a really weird show
weird.
for you.
Dare I say conspiracy?
Conspiratorial, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. A good conspiracy nonetheless, and
It
we'll
is.
dive into it a little bit more next week. And if you haven't done any research on it after our show next week, then do some research in it. 'Cause,
Stay tuned.
enjoy the show, enjoy the new information
Yeah, enjoy the mystery.
as it comes to you.
Explore it with us because I don't know a whole lot. Like I've definitely skimmed through some articles, but I haven't done full research. I mean, in Cassie, it is a little educational, but there's some things that they throw out there that's like really.
Yeah,
Like,
really.
come on.
Oh my god.
Come on. But
then
I'll just say, history is below us, though. It is beneath us.
it is.
Archaeologists dig for a reason.
Let's see, that'll be the 8th. I think sometime this month we should do another paranormal game night.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a minute. I will say maybe like the 15th,
Nah, it's no good for me.
the 22nd.
No, the 15th should be fine.
We have the 15th, 22nd, 29th. So
God, 5 shows this month? Ugh, I'm kidding.
5 shows. We're putting in work, guys. So if you're still watching and you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go do that.
Hit that button.
Yes, hit the subscribe button. Share it. That's the biggest thing. If you're not going to subscribe, at least share it, right?
I mean, what's it take to share it?
And comment below the video, not just in the chat. We appreciate our chat. Don't get me wrong. But after the show's over, if you guys have watched to this point, please comment below. Let us know some topics maybe that you would like us to research and that we can bring onto the show and talk about. We're always looking for new content. So
I mean, we could dive deep into we could dive into the ghost ships in the American Great Lakes again. All
right,
Can't
Charles.
take him anywhere, Cassie.
All right, Charles. You know what you got to do now.
Like, oh my God, it's just so needy. God, that's so needy. There we go. That's okay. That's not as good, but it's fine.
Hawk to it. Put some spit on it.
Know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? Gotta dust the cobwebs off this thing.
All right, guys. That's it for tonight. We are off to bed. We've had a hell of a weekend, and we'll see you guys next week with a new conspiracy.
Bye.
And thanks, Lori, for joining us. For
And make sure to keep all your fingers over the week, too. Don't lose any.
Yeah, that too. Don't die. Don't die on us. Philip the Ghost Experiment. Ooh. All right. All right, Jess.
We'll look into it.
Put in the comments below
Love you,
the
Cassie.
video so we can remember that.
Yes, please. Or just
All right.
message us. Either one. I don't care.
All right. Good night, guys.